That's right, we snapped right into a hockey rink. That's kind of neat, huh? Chris Jericho, Canada, former NHL dad, 3 Guys Pickin, skates, Brodie, hats, ice. We like ice, we like hockey. Whatever you can do, Jericho, I can do. Now, probably nowhere near how good you can do it, all right, but just wanted to show 3GP on the ice. What's up?
I only met the Ultimate Warrior once that I can remember. I mean, I might have seen him around a few times, but when he first came back to WCW in about '98 or so, I was really excited. He came back to work with Hogan, and I, of course, had to go introduce myself to him. Hey, I'm Chris Jericho, and I was just a nobody at the time. Like, I wasn't doing anything of any significance. And he was like, oh, wow, I've been watching your work, and like I say, he said I'm a big fan, but he was like, you're doing a good job, or I've been watching you, and you're doing a good job, something along those lines. And just the fact that, oh my gosh, like Ultimate Warrior was watching me, and he said I did a good job, like maybe I have a chance, because no one really knew who I was. And so that was pretty cool. And then I remember seeing him at catering after, and he was at the dessert table with a cookie, and he crushed up the cookie and put the crumbs in his hand and sniffed it, and I was like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I don't eat dessert, I just sniff it. Just by crushing the cookie and by inhaling the aroma of the cookie, that gives me all the dessert that I need. And I was like, dude, that's pretty hardcore. That's commitment right there. But that was it, and I've never really saw him since then, as far as I can remember.
So growing up, you were able to say maybe you were a fan of his?
I was a fan because he was just so intense and so heavy, and he was a metal guy. You could tell that. Like, a lot of guys in the WWE had long hair, but they're usually mullets. He had like real legit, like James Hetfield long hair, and obviously his theme song was so heavy, and just his intensity. And I used to like watching him work, but he wasn't the best wrestler, but he didn't need to be. He just had an amazing character, an amazing presence. So yeah, I was definitely a fan for sure.
So I wanted to ask you then, when they approached you about the Warrior DVD, the Self-Destruction, what was it like if you're being a fan and you're like, we kind of want you to...
Well, I mean, I think have you watched that DVD lately? Yeah. So, I mean, I can't really remember, did I say all bad stuff?
You actually weren't that bad.
Right.
You and Christian.
Right, I mean, I remember I made some jokes, which is fine. I mean, you make jokes, I remember about parts unknown and that sort of thing.
Right.
But that was just kind of making jokes and taking the piss out of somebody. But I didn't really know the inner workings of what happened between Vince and Warrior. But when you go to the WWE, sometimes they'll say, when you get to TV, so you get a list of things you got to go talk about. So you go in front of the camera and do, local promos, or you'll do, station identifications or whatever. And that was like, we're going to talk about the Ultimate Warrior, and ask me some questions. And I know how to do those things. I know I've been doing it for years, not just in WWE, but VH1, as far as encapsulated sound bites is what they're always looking for. So I just remember it was just a list of questions about the Ultimate Warrior. I wasn't even really sure. It wasn't like, okay, here's going to be, we're doing a DVD about the Ultimate Warrior. We're just going to bury him and make him look really bad and paint him this picture. It wasn't like that. It was just, let's ask you a bunch of questions. And then me being me, I'll always look for the funny side of stuff. But I remember that somebody had told me that, like, of all the people on it, or a few of the people on it, like, you didn't bury him or say anything bad about him. The reason is I didn't have anything to say about him other than hearsay. But for me, I can only judge people the way they treated me, and he was really nice to me. It's the same thing as when I hung out with Axl Rose, the one and only time I ever met Axl Rose in New York City. We hung out, until 5 in the morning, had the best time, greatest guy ever. I don't know any of the bad side of him because I've never seen it. And if anyone says, oh, Axl Rose, this and other thing, for me, I always know, hey, to me, it was nothing but cool. And same with Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, I didn't think he said anything bad about him. I was just wondering if he told you we want you to bury him.
No, it wasn't like that. It was just that we have a bunch of questions to ask you about the Warrior, and feel free to answer any way you see fit. And they know that I'm always good on those things, which is probably why they asked me in the first place.